Hey everybody, Sean P., your real estate expert in Victoria, BC. September had another market report with essentially flat numbers, but under the surface, changes are bubbling. And today I'm going to cover 5 strategies you should consider if you're looking at moving soon. Thanks for checking out the channel. We post videos every week to help you stay informed. So if you want a solid understanding of our market and the best strategies to use, you should like and subscribe so you don't miss anything else that we have coming up. And as always, if you have plans involving real estate, you can use the link in the description to grab some time with me. I'd love to chat. But first, let's jump in to some strategies that will work in this market. If you've been watching along, you'll know that I've been watching our inventory levels really carefully since the spring this year. We've been growing inventory through the summer, and we are currently sitting on crazy high levels of inventory. We finished September with just under 3,700 homes on the market. And to give you perspective, we haven't seen more homes for sale on the market since 2014. So it's been more than a decade since our inventory has climbed up this high. But here's the weird thing. The market hasn't really responded to these high levels of inventory. It's a conversation piece anecdotally when we're speaking with buyers and sellers, and a lot of people are confused and concerned and unsure of where things are going to go, but our pricing has remained incredibly stable. Now, when we combine that with the fact that we just had an interest rate drop and a lot of people are speculating that we're going to see 2 or 3 more between now and the spring, I still think that we're probably sitting at what the bottom of the market is in terms of pricing. So it's an interesting moment when there's a lot of choice and the opportunity to negotiate favorable and balanced terms on a purchase, when we know that more than likely coming into the new year, the level of competition is going to rise on our listings. So with all of this, I think there's a few key considerations for anyone who's planning a move in the next 6 to 12 months so that they lay themselves in the best position possible and they don't miss an opportunity. So what are the moves you should consider in an uneventful, flat market when we have a suspicion that there's a likelihood things will start to tick up soon? Well, first of all, I'm going to just say that it varies a lot by what type of property you're looking at and what you're trying to accomplish. So the first thing that I'm going to say is the part of our market right now that is the softest is our condo market. If you have a condo that you are looking to sell and time frame isn't an obstacle, there's a good reason you might consider waiting for the spring. We are expecting that things will continue to tick up, and with condos being a little bit soft right now and still recovering from all the changes to regulations like our Airbnb changes, chances are that you'll get a better price in the spring. With that said, it's never guaranteed, and if it's going to cost you some money to carry it from now till then, I would just rip the band-aid off and move forward with your plans. Now, if you're shopping the condo market, now is your moment. We have lots of inventory, there's some great prices out there, and some really nice properties are changing hands. Now, this market in general, like I said, has been affected by all the legislation changes and interest rates over the past few years. We've seen investors walk away from the condo market largely just because they can't make the numbers work with interest rates and the changes that have come in terms of short-term rentals. But what we will likely see is things will stabilize and start to pick up again in the spring as interest rates come down and these become something that investors can float again. So this is kind of the window right now over the next 3 or 4 months where I think that you can still get into a great property, you can get a good price, and you can do that with great terms as well before things start to heat up in the spring. Condos 2 or 3 years ago were selling for almost $100,000 more than they are right now. So they're at a discount already. It's time to scoop one up. Townhomes are really tricky to pin down. We have a very small market segment of townhomes. And so getting an idea of where the trend is going is really tricky because the numbers swing around quite a bit every month. With that said, the overarching theme to townhomes is that it's very subjective to product and location. If you have a townhome to sell, I can't give you a generality. You have to have us or your realtor of choice come in and give you an opinion. Depending on where you are and what kind of finishes the interior has will entirely define what experience you're going to have listing it for sale. And the same, but kind of the opposite is true if you're shopping for a townhome. Think ahead to when you're going to be selling that down the road. Could be a few years, could be 5, could be 10, it doesn't matter. But what you want is to focus on townhomes that are not in an area with a dense population of townhomes. They're going to be your competition down the road. And also look for something that stands out as unique. Builder grade, basic townhomes are growing in quantity everywhere through the core and especially in the West Shore. Whereas if you can find something that has a little bit of a luxurious flair or an interesting layout or something unique about it, it'll be a lot easier to move down the road when you go to sell. Single family detached is really the least unique part of our market right now because it's just steady and predictable. There's lots for sale, so if you're shopping, you've got options. And as a seller, honestly, you might get a little bit more in the spring, but that's a dice roll and we really don't know what's coming. And right now the market's pretty solid. You'll get a good price for your home. It'll move quickly if you price it right. And we're even seeing multiple offers, so you can expect to get good terms. Ultimately, if you're planning to buy and sell, remember, if you do both of them in the same marketplace, you're always going to end up coming out on top. So waiting for the spring, hoping to sell for more is just going to mean you have to fight harder on the purchase. And right now there is an abundance of inventory. Focus on getting the best house. That'll pay dividends in the long run. So who's got the most opportunity in our marketplace? Investors and first-time buyers. Here's the deal. We're at this magic moment where prices are still low. Again, they've been discounted compared to what they were at a few years ago. So you're buying in at a good price, and there's really no reason that we can tell you we expect prices will be lower. In fact, the most probable outcome is they're going to start to rise again soon. So you're at the bottom of the market in terms of price. Simultaneously, interest rates are swinging down. When that happens, they're going to cause a price increase in the future. These things always balance out against each other as long as there isn't another unpredicted third-party intervention. So what that means is you can lock in a good price and shop for a good rate. If I could paint a perfect picture, I'd start shopping with someone right now and have 2 or 3 month window to find a great property, and then negotiate a long closing and let them shop all the attractive rate offerings that come from the lending side over the beginning of the spring. Again, people are predicting there's a good chance we'll see some more rate drops. So if you can get a great property and then lock it in at a great rate, you win on both sides. Ultimately, that's the advice that goes for anyone who's buying anything as well. Start talking to your broker and be prepared to lock in when a good offer comes. Usually they'll let you secure a rate for somewhere between 3 and 4 months. So just start locking in offers so you have options when the right property comes up. You can always renegotiate or choose a different product closer to closing. All right, guys, that's it. I always love taking a market that might seem uninteresting and putting a spin on what you can do in it to win. So if you have something unique in your situation that you want to explore, again, grab some time with me. You can use the link in the description. I'd love to chat. And as always, I appreciate you taking the time to watch this. We'll catch you on the next one.